Hi there, it's Charlie here, creator of the Total Internet Marketing Blueprint, and it's so important to me as you move through the course, you have somewhere to go to keep perspective. I like to call these videos my mindset refreshers. And in this video, what I want to talk to you about is what I like to call the bike tire. It's really important you keep your focus to make sure everything you do as you move through the course relates to bringing people in and doing whatever you can to connect with them before they leave, to make them non-anonymous in your world is really the end goal here. So let's go through the bike tire analogy real quick for you. The first thing you want to keep in mind is you have the hub. In the middle of the tire, you got your hub. And in your case, it's your website and your blog. Essentially what we're trying to do is make sure that the hub is geared to taking anybody who comes into it and providing enough value where they'll call you, contact you, or at least give you an email address so you can build your relationship with them. Sometimes we leverage a blog as a kind of spoke, meaning that we bring them into the blog and then tell them about a particular service, solution, or product and say, you know what, if you really want to know about it, go over here to our website. But the reality is once they're in your hub, you can test and measure everything. You can test and measure where they came from, exactly how they behaved when they were in your hub, and whether or not they contacted you through your contact form or got your guide, your learn-based incentive, that kind of thing, to measure the conversions. So it's really important to me as you work through the different parts of the Total Internet Marketing Blueprint that you're always keeping your end goal in mind, which is either awareness, which means see more and more visitors come to your site, which I'll teach you how to test and measure soon, or most commonly, it's leads, meaning you want to see people contact you, call you, or at least give you an email address. And if you're selling anything through your website, you want to make sure that your online sales are growing over time. It's really important you get that. So end of the day, as far as your hub, you want to make sure if they come in, you do everything you can do to keep them until they connect. So many times when I do my web reviews, I go through and I see sites and they're like, hey, here's our vendors, or here's some products that we sell, and then they link right off the site to the product site. And you never want to do that until you've done everything you can to keep them until they connect. So think about that in terms of the perspective of how we're going to lay things out and how the website should be constructed. A lot of people ask, okay, well I have people that I'm associated with, or I'm associated with chambers and those kinds of things. Where should I put the links to go to those places? And usually to answer that question, we tell people to put it at your about page on the very bottom. That page out of all the pages is usually accessed the least. We don't want people to leave until we get them to connect. That's the end goal. Hopefully you got that. All right, let's go off and talk a little bit about the spokes. Remember, we're talking about the bike tire. In the middle we have the hub. Our goal is to use the spokes to bring people in. So what are spokes? It's pretty much everything else. Some of the things that you can do out online, obviously, are social networks. You can get in and promote and help people add value in their lives through the social networks by participating. And then a lot of times it's educating, but then also telling people, you know what, I have more information over here that might guide you through this process. The next thing is online ads. And you want to go out there and strategically place ads that are keyword enriched around the fundamentals of success, one topic per ad in this case. But you also want to make sure in the ad that you're connecting to your existing information in your site. Not just your homepage, but specific information that relates to the ad in your site. Real important you get that because that's the spoke. Once things are in your hub, as I kind of mentioned before, you can measure that. So you can tell, you know what, this online ad I created around this wording and this service really brought in the traffic, or didn't bring in the traffic, and you can improve or remove that strategy. Fundamental number 7. The next thing, forums and groups. There's a really great forum down here in Southwest Florida, and actually it's nationwide, but they have a Florida, Fort Myers, Cape Coral segment, and it's called the City Data Forums. And it's crazy what happens when you get into that, because you have all these people by the thousands talking and trying to figure things out about Southwest Florida. There's tons of opportunity for people in these forums. If you go in there, you got to make sure you're abiding by their rules. Sometimes they don't let you link, or they don't let you promote your business, but you can go through and educate. And remember, education is marketing. And tell them, you know what, here I have more information on this topic on my website or in an ebook or in a guide that I've written, a learn-based incentive that might help you through this. It's really important as you do that work. That's one of the spokes. Unfortunately, if you can't link, it's not as easy to measure, but a lot of times when people sign up, you can ask them, hey, how'd you hear about us? And they might tell you, oh, I found you in the City Data Forums. But you do have to play by the rules when it comes to going online and getting into the forums and groups. And in groups, you can think about LinkedIn groups. There's a lot of specific niche groups that relate to specific services, solutions, and products. It's one of the things that we talk about in opportunity scouting and real-time marketing in the forward drives of the Total Internet Marketing Blueprint. The final thing, Videos and photos, making sure that you go out there and leverage your videos in YouTube, but always, always, always in your description, link to specific information in your blog or in your website that relates to the video, because you can then go through and measure, you know what, this YouTube video brought in a lot of traffic, and of that traffic, these people contacted us through our contact form, or they went through and got our learn-based incentive. Works out so well when you put this into play, because you can say, you know, these are the kind of things we need to think of as we move forward through our campaigns, which is the second baseline drive that we go over in the Total Marketing Blueprint, making sure that, you know what, here's what we've done historically that's created results. Here's what we want to do moving forward to make sure that we're taking that information in and putting it in play in the future and doing more of what worked. It's so neat when you get all that and put it into play. So with that, I just wanted to go through and make sure we have a good understanding of what fundamentals are in play using the bike tire approach. And primarily when you're using the spokes to bring in traffic to the hub, we're talking about get connected, which is fundamental number 5. We're talking about doing the work continually, consistently, and thoroughly, fundamental number 6. And number 7, we're talking about testing and measuring. Exactly what I was talking about a moment ago. Making sure that when people come in, we know what we did that generated the most response. It's pretty cool, and we can look at that and see it. And I wanted to show you a quick example of how that actually looks inside the tool that I recommend for testing and measuring, Google Analytics. And here's an example of it. So in this particular case, I said, show me all the referral traffic that's brought in people to our website in the last month related to the social networks. And you can see in this particular example that a lot of people, 100 to be exact, came in from Facebook. Some people came in from Reddit, which is a really great way to share or bookmark information online. And 31 people came from Reddit. That's a great spoke. A lot of people came from Yelp. 31 people came from Yelp. Pinterest. 11 people from Pinterest. In the photo section of the forward drives in the Total Marketing Blueprint, we go over this in detail, making sure that you're leveraging photos in all these different ways. One of them, Pinterest. And if you haven't heard of Pinterest, it's the word interest with a P on the front, and it's basically like an online scrapbook. But if you position photos in there and you link them properly, you get some of this kind of conversion. The 5th, Twitter. Just a few people came in from Twitter. But you can see how if we're leveraging spokes and we're bringing them in, we're watching exactly what's bringing in the traffic, that in this case, that particular company may want to go through and do a little more work in Facebook to make that number grow. Or if they're finding out of all this related information that certain people are actually converting higher, even if they're coming in lower volume, then maybe they want to dedicate more energy there. Sometimes your audience is in specific things, like if you're a restaurant, for example, they might be in Yelp. And these people are the ones that come in, call, get your coupon, do those kind of things before coming into your actual place of business. So it's real important we know that. So with everything that we've done in this video, remember, as you move forward, the bike tire. It's really, really important. We have our hub that's built to test and measure, and it's built to convert and make sure we don't let anybody leave until they give us information. And then we're going out into all the different spokes and kind of just testing them all out and seeing what comes in and whether the people convert. So with that, I'm here to help you grow your business, improve your life authentically, purposefully today. Take care.